Well, good Thursday afternoon, everybody. It's been a while. For the past 90 days, I have been going through an intense purification of body, mind, and spirit. On July 19th, I was hit with an ocular migraine, which is something that I get from time to time when I'm exposed to toxic fumes or chemicals. And within a 30-day time period from that migraine, I went into a complete crash of my nervous system. And within that crash, I had multiple neurological symptoms, everything from short-term memory loss to brain fog, extreme fatigue in my entire body. And by the 1st of September, 85% of my entire body had neuropathy and was completely numb. And I was bedridden for multiple days with extreme fatigue and numbness. My hands were curling up from the nerves. I had incontinence. I had nerve pain. My right eye drooped down and had a hard time opening when I'd wake up. I probably was only sleeping 3 hours a night. So needless to say, there were many other symptoms as well. My left leg was dragging. Just overall, a very challenging time. But through that, I, again, like the other times I've been through a physical crash because of my genetic issues. I have come through it and I'm healthy and doing well, and wanted to share with you some of my learnings and what's happening now. And so after 90 days of going through a very intense purification, this included diet, the SEERS protocol as prescribed by my functional medicine doctor, and partnering with my incredible team of healers, both physical healers as well as spiritual healers. I was able to really come through this by practicing meditation, self-inquiry practice, and working on shamanic healing of my own light body. And I'm happy to report that my blood work coming in now, I am free of all autoimmune markers. I am free of all autoimmune antibodies. I do have some infection energy to work with and some toxins that are pretty high in my system because of poor methylation from my genetics. But all of it's clearing away, and it's such a fabulous thing. And so I want to stress here that if you're struggling with any health issues, whether they're emotional or physical, because quite frankly, this was all of it for me. It was a very scary experience, even though intuitively I felt I would come through it, and my closest colleagues also felt I would come through it. That's hard to believe when you're in the middle of not being able to think clearly. You're depressed, you're fatigued, your brain is cloudy, and your body is not working properly. I was playing with my 6-year-old, and I had to literally drag my body across the floor to help her at one point. So it was quite challenging mentally and emotionally. And so as you're going through this process and you're going through these challenges yourself in any way, whether you're just struggling with feeling depressed or you're having some serious autoimmune issues, part of the process is going into your spiritual practice, and that includes meditation and self-inquiry practice within yourself. And I truly believe that my meditation practice and the tools that I was given from a self-inquiry standpoint, asking myself what the root of this was and managing my destructive emotions, and really looking at what they had to teach me, not only helped me to completely heal and come 100% to where I am today, but it also, I feel, helped shift the energy so that the data on the physical plane for my functional medicine doctor and my epigenetic nutritionist, test results came in early. test results came in positive. I received information and tools to be able to help heal myself. And I believe it all works in partnership. And I love that there's these orbs floating around. I keep looking at the camera and there's these orbs kind of floating around the screen, which is kind of cool. Anyways, so a lot of blessings have come through this. And so I want to share with you, we carry a lot of toxins. And my article that I wrote prior to all of this back in June about the indigo child and toxicity is very true. 26% of the population have a genetic mutation, whether it's MTHFR or the HLA mutation, but they ultimately are diagnosed with CIRS, C-I-R-S, which is chronic inflammatory response syndrome, which is what I have, where we have a difficult time methylating toxins and we're more sensitive to toxins, and we also have a very extreme reaction to toxins. Every single symptom I had, doctors thought I had MS, I had to have MRIs, I went through ANA panels and autoimmune panels, and what came from all of this is that I had none of those things. Truly, all of this came from mold, exposure to mold over the past year in my environment. I'm out of that environment. But this happened to me 2 years ago when I was exposed to toxic mold, and it happened even more severely this time. And it was really quite a lesson for me on so many levels, again, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And so if you have issues, whether it's sinus issues, migraine issues, you can't lose weight, you're gaining weight, you don't know why, you feel bloated, any kind of acne as an adult, any kind of issues that you're having, even if they seem subtle and not severe, you may in fact have an issue with the MTHFR genetic mutation and or CIRS, C-I-R-S. So I highly recommend doing some research on those, and I'll be posting resources as we go forward so that you can find out more information. So that said, I'm very sensitive to toxins. I'm also an indigo child, as are many of you that I'm connected with and that are probably watching this video. And so per my article that I wrote back in the summer months, we're highly sensitive to toxins, and so our body has them. And those toxins are a direct reflection of our environment, both physically and spiritually, meaning we might have toxic relationships, we might have toxic work environments, we may be taking on other people's toxins as healers and light workers, but our bodies have toxins. And so what I learned through this process, one of the key factors that I believed helped me heal, I saw my symptoms reduce by almost 50% as soon as I started this practice. And that was the realization that for the past decade, I have been rejecting my toxins. Whether it was fighting candida or mold or fungus or any kind of food allergy, any issue that I've been through over the years of purifying my system, that I ultimately have rejected those toxins, meaning I have candida, I want candida out of my body. I have mold toxins, I want the mold toxins out of my body. They don't belong and I want them out. And what I realized through this particular experience that really changed my viewpoint on healing and purification is that you really are rejecting yourself. You're rejecting a part of yourself, and you really need to merge with those toxins, love those toxins, and merge loving kindness and compassion with the toxins. And when you do that, you ultimately dissolve the toxins and you free yourself and your physical body and your spiritual light body from those toxins. And so more to come, but wanted to share with you a brief practice that you can do if you are in a purification process, in a physical detox process, or you simply just want to experience this practice to release toxicity from your energy field. So you're just going to sit quietly for a moment. You're going to take a few deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you continue breathing, you just want to get into this space in between the breath, listening to the stillness and the silence. And you want to visualize your cells in your body, all the way down to those DNA strands. And maybe those cells are tired, maybe they're overworked, maybe they need to be purified, maybe they're just clear, maybe you have clear cells, but you want to imagine those cells. And then you want to visualize any toxicity in your life, whether it's physical toxins inside your body that you're trying to eliminate, like mold and fungus, or a viral infection or bacteria, or maybe you want to visualize the toxicity in your work environment, in a relationship that you have, a friendship that you have. And you're going to visualize that toxicity however it looks. And you're going to say to that toxicity how much you love it. I love you, toxicity. And you have served me well, and you have taught me a lot of lessons. X. You've taught me X. And think about what that X is. That's the self-inquiry practice. What have these toxins taught me about my relationship with my body, with my mind, and with my spirit? And then give those toxins a big hug. Hug them. Hug those toxins and see all of the pink, compassionate light around those toxins as you hug them and hold them, and merge with those toxins. Merge those toxic cells with light and love and compassion and loving kindness, and watch them dissolve and merge and dissolve and merge and dissolve and merge and dissolve until you see those toxins just dissipate. It's a wonderful practice to begin to purify your energy field, and can ultimately influence the information and support that you receive on the physical plane. Thank you so much, and thank you for these few minutes today, and more to come. There will be more practices coming out online soon, as well as some free downloads with my new book, Enlightenment Pie, that we'll be releasing here at Christmas time. And I hope you guys have a blessed afternoon. Thank you, and Om.